Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Bookish Artist Mandy here, and I'm coming at you today with an ink video where I am going to swatch all of the Teranishi guitar inks from the Taisho Roman line. It is a line of 16 inks that I have just fallen head over heels for in the past few months, and I'm really excited about it. So yeah, sit back and enjoy. I know that these kind of ink videos always are great for me. So I hope that this is great for you to see the line and catch on my research that I have done into the inks. So I discovered through my process, I was first introduced to Teranishi inks because everybody was obsessed with this one, Teranishi's Opera Rose. I fell head over heels for them from Traveling Sepia when I grabbed it as a brown because I was trying to find my perfect brown. This very well may be my favorite brown ever. I haven't found one that is better, or in my opinion, that I like more, but there are a couple that I feel like could be contenders, but this was what got my heart. And then what really stole it was Innocent Mauve. And as you can see, my Innocent Mauve is getting down there. Well, I mean down there for me because I have a jillion inks, but this one is one of my absolute favorite colors. And so I decided that I wanted to continue to add to my collection. And so I ended up adding so many to my collection that I have half the line in full bottles and half the line in samples from Van Ness. So we are going to go ahead and get into it, and I'm really excited. So the little bit of background that I did on Teranishi is these inks were ones that were harking back to Teranishi's beginning as a company. So Teranishi is a company in Japan that started in 1916. And these ones are called the Taisho Roman line, which is a time period in Japan where Western culture was really starting to influence them, especially in their writing instruments. I didn't know this. I just read this on their website just today. So they have their whole story, which is really cool. But I was wondering where they got their inspiration for inks. So this is really phenomenal that these go with their company's story, and I feel like it's just kind of a cool thing. And I think these ones were either introduced in 2023 or 2021. Do not quote me because I can't remember exactly what that said on the website, but it has it all there. I had to use Google Translator because it is in Japanese, but yeah, so that's just the background of it before we get in. So I'm going to start with, I have my bottles over here and my ink samples over here. You can't see it because they're off screen, but I do have them right here all together. I decided because I really want to show these beautiful shading color properties, I'm going to use my Kakamori brass nib, which has gotten a lot of patina right here where it has gotten wet, and my stir stick. This is a glass stir stick that I got off Amazon. It is for drinks, but this is what I use every time. So if you're new here, that is that. And I also have a paper towel and water to clean in my mason jars. And here we go. So yeah, most of these were bought from Van Ness. The other ones, maybe Amazon, maybe other places. Not every place carries them. I know Jet Pens does, and so I think one or two are from Jet Pens. But I know that the samples are all from Van Ness. And I do have an affiliate link with Van Ness so you can save yourself some money and try out the samples if you like anything in this video. All right, here we go. I am just going to start grabbing. There's no rhyme or reason to the colors. We're just going to go with it. All right, Teranishi's Melancholic Blue. And this one is one that I do need to get a bottle of soon because I have used quite a bit of it. It is a beautiful blue. I'm very excited to show you this one. And I'm kind of going to do like a little maybe, yeah, over here. I should have started on the other side since I'm left-handed, but wasn't thinking. And this is like almost like a, I don't know what you would call this blue, but it is so pretty. It was one that I had a hard time finding until Van Ness got it. So this one is one of my favorite blues. And I wanted to finish the sample before I got the bottle, but I need to, I think my next Van Ness order, I need to get it. So it is just, it's kind of almost like a Prussian blue, I would say. And this is, yeah, so melancholic blue. My Kakamori nib sometimes likes to work for me and sometimes doesn't. It has this really beautiful red sheen. And, oh, melancholic. I needed to think this out more. Melancholic blue. And it, you know, it's one of those things that makes me think of just sadness and rainy days, but also just deep feelings and emotions, which is interesting to me. I don't know why it makes me feel that way, but it is just this beautiful blue. It's very legible. It's very lovely. And it's nice flowing. And it would be one that you could potentially use for work. So that is one which is surprising because if you have followed me, and maybe you haven't, if you have followed me at all, you will know that I am not a very big blue lover. Blue is probably like my least favorite ink besides black, but this one I enjoy. This one I sought out, and as you can see, it's very loved and very messy. And this was a 4 milliliter sample, so that one is definitely down there. And I love this color. So that is melancholic blue, and I will obviously, no, not obviously, but I will do close-ups of it at the end here. All right, my next sample is going to be Smoky Navy. I haven't even swatched this one yet. This was one when I decided to do this video, I grabbed the colors that I haven't tried yet. So this one is Smoky Navy. I want to see this one. I'm excited to see it right next to Melancholic Blue. So I am kind of thinking about the colors I'm grabbing just as I'm doing this. This one, okay, this one is more of a blue-black, definitely. And I'm excited to see how it works in a pen, since I haven't put it in a pen yet, obviously, since I just got this one. Is it Smoky? Okay. Smoky Navy. There, my dip pen and my Hokoro, or my Kakamori. Why did I call it Hokoro? Oh, because I have a Hokoro. Sorry. Yes, Smoky Navy. I have been into like these deeper blue blacks lately. I don't know. When I first started with fountain pens, I really liked Shinkai by Pilot Iro Shizuku. So this one would probably be a close contender to that. And yeah. So far, it looks very navy, which makes sense, but there is a gray tint to it, which is cool. And so we'll do some smoke puffs coming out of it. And I'm excited to see the difference in this. So where Smoky Navy, looking at this, comparing so far, Smoky Navy is definitely more gray and dark and like blue, where Melancholic Blue almost has like a green undertone. And it'd be really interesting to see them in their chromatography. But I'm not doing the chromatography today. Maybe I'll do chromatography one of these days, but not today. Okay. All right, my next one is Nighttime Soda. And this one was my first sample I picked up, and I was hoping that it would be just like Melancholic Blue, or I got them confused, but it is very different. This is closer to a standard blue, but still has, I don't know, it still has almost like a purple undertone to it, I think. It very much so reminds me of Pilot Iro Shizuku's Asagao. And since I have a full bottle of that, this is one that I just haven't used as much, but it is very, very blue and very happy. Maybe that's why I don't like it as much. This one is not necessarily my favorite, but it's also a nice one. Like, I don't know. It's, like I said, blue is not always what I turn to unless it's really interesting. Like the Melancholic blue is definitely more of the Indanthrone. If you don't know what Indanthrone blue, it's a color that I use in a colored pencil that I love so much by what is that? By Caran d'Ache. But I also love my Indanthrone watercolors. So anytime I find that blue, it's so great. Or Prussian blue, which is another almost tealy blue, and where Nighttime Soda is definitely more straight blue, which would be really beautiful in the winter, I think. And now, because I have been watching a lot of Demon Hunters, K-pop Demon Hunters, I am thinking of My Little Soda Pop. Yeah. So now I've got that in my head. You're all I can think of. Let me know. I don't know if anybody else has been watching K-pop Demon Hunters, but my sons and I are quite obsessed with it. So we have watched it. We went to the sing-along in the theaters. So it was really cool to see it in theaters. And yeah, we really like it. So that's what I have in my head now. Thanks to Nighttime Soda. But now I'm looking at it and thinking, why didn't I love this one before? It is different than my other ones. It's got this beautiful, almost pinkish, purplish sheen that's popping up, and it's got undertones of purple too. Like, why haven't I used it? Probably because I have too many inks, but this one I'm gonna have to get in a pen because I think I'm gonna like that one. And I have it, so why not? All right, my next one that I have in a sample is Antique Black. I am not a black ink person. The only blacks that I usually use are document ink, but I wanted to have all the samples just to see the whole line together because I was curious and I wanted to make this video. But I also am kind of leaning towards actually having just a black that isn't document, just to have as like a color in my repertoire. So I don't know. I've heard a lot of people really do like this Antique Black, so we're going to find out if I like it too. It is definitely flowing. I can always tell when an ink is really dry because my Kakimori nib just has a lot of more problems. Oh, 1 second. Okay, I got interrupted. Our water heater is having problems, so we have a repair guy, but I'm going to finish this Antique Black, and then I'm going to pause this, and I will come back, because that's how this works, right? Life. But, I'm curious of how I'm going to think of this black. It is very flowing. Like I was saying, my Kakimori nib, I do have problems with it anytime, but if an ink is, like, remotely dry, it really doesn't want to work. So, you know, I'm going to draw a black cat, because how much fun would that be to have a black cat in the Antique Black? And here we go. Yeah, because my husband, he works from home, so he is down with the repair guy, but he may need me today. Oop. I don't know. I'm hoping that I can get that out there. But yeah, there's Black Cat. Oh, I love doing these little swirls. They are just one of those things that is very, very relaxing. So as this is drying, I can see there is some red. It looks like red sheen. There's some sheen. So it's going to be fun to look at. There's a lot of sheen in all of these. So there's those first 4 out of the 16. So it's going to be fun to see them as I go. I need to decide which my next ones will be. I think I'm going to go greens. We'll see. I have to think about this, and I will be back. You won't know. You'll just see, but thought process. All right, I am back. It was only about 15 minutes since my last one. That's fine. Not that you need to know, but I like to keep it real. The antique black did dry. It's really almost dark navy. I like that with a red sheen. So I'm gonna try that in a pen one of these days soon. But for now, we're gonna keep going. I have gentle green here, and one of the things that I enjoy about Venice is that a lot of times their fonts and colors that they use for their labels will kind of match the color of the ink. And this looks not to be like an actual like green. This is called gentle green. So it looks almost like it's their teal. I haven't used this one yet either. I've just seen swatches online. And wow, that is, yeah, that's a very, very tealy green blue. And that is beautiful. Excuse me as my voice went up there. I'm excited. Ooh, I'm getting stuff all over my nib holder. Oh, that's lovely. Look at that. Now it's drying too with a really interesting undertone. Ooh, I'm excited about that. Putting it away here so I don't lose it. I don't know what I want to doodle this time. So I've done a rock, I've done this. Ugh. Getting ink all over myself, which is, you know, the day ends in Y for me. Although I haven't been using ink, or I haven't been inking pens up as much. So I'm trying to like use what I have rather than inking pens every day. So my hands have actually gotten clean for once. I mean, you can see there's not ink on my hands. There will be now. Oh, wow. Okay. So this is one I have looked at quite a few times and had not jumped on grabbing. And now I'm kind of like, why didn't you do that before now? It is lovely. It is kind of drying almost, I don't know how to describe it, but it's got this, so it goes down really, really teal. And then it dries where it's lighter and brighter, like it's got kind of a coating almost. I think that's the best way to say it. It's like kind of dries with this soft coating on it. I don't know how to describe it. I'll show it to you as once it's dried. I'll lift up the paper. And this is Tomoe River 52 GSM paper. So this is the Tomoe. It's a Tomoe. It's the good stuff before 2024 or 2025, the fiasco from this last year. So it is better paper. I don't know if it's original. I got it off Amazon a couple of years ago, so it might be, but I have no idea if it's before 2023 or not. All right, this next one here is Lady Emerald, which is, I'm guessing, our general green. Now this one is pretty on the cover, but it looks almost bluish on the cover of this one too. So I don't know if it's going to be green or not. I'm not a big like green person. I like more olivey, desaturated greens, but this one looks like it might be super saturated. It's very flowy, very wet. I love the name of it, Lady Emerald. I also love that these are inks that are inspired by a period of time that is 100 years old, because that's exciting. So yeah, maybe we'll do this here and do a jewel. I don't know what this is, but we'll go with it. I haven't been doodling as much these last couple weeks, so bear with me while I try to figure out my doodles. It's not coming to me as fast. Maybe you're thinking, oh man, I don't know how you say it's not coming as fast. It really isn't for me right now, and my brain is not functioning in the same way. It's almost as if teaching takes a lot out of you. Yeah. For those of you who don't know, yeah, I'm back at work and I'm teaching again. Not full-time yet, but I will be here in the next couple months. But I feel like it takes so much out of me those first few weeks back. It's just a lot of where you're not getting that. I hadn't been getting that social interaction. Now I am. So it's a lot. So just bear with me as I am not always brain functioning and speaking the way that I want to speak, or my thoughts aren't processing in the right way. Yeah, because brain energy, it's interesting. All right, the next one I have a full bottle of. This is Brilliant Mint. I love these little swatcher things that come with them. It's got their logo on it, which is a guitar with a music note and a crown. And I read on their website that they're not quite sure where the origin of the guitar is from on their logos, but they're even in their own company and their own history, but they think that where the original logo came from was that one of their biggest markets of the time when they first opened was the Philippines, and guitars were really big instruments in there. And so they're not positive, but they imagine it was something with the Philippines, which is kind of cool. I didn't know that. I love finding history and like little facts. It makes things just more fun for me. Now this Brilliant Mint is just lovely. It's a lovely mint. It does remind me of Diamine's Soft Mint. I haven't compared them. I do have Soft Mint, but I did compare it to my Kobe's Chapel Emerald. Yes, Chapel Emerald. And it is really close to that. And so I would say if you like Kobe inks, but Chapel Emerald is one of their more limited edition inks, this one might be a good option. It also would be, because I know Chapel Emerald is really close to it, this also would be a good dupe for Dominant Industries Fairy Forest, but without the iridescent shimmer. But you can also, there's lots of shimmer additives being added to the market every day. Van Diemen's has them, so that's something I'm thinking about doing, is taking some of these inks that I love so much and trying them with shimmer additive. I've done Jane Eyre, and that one was really fun. I think I mixed it with the Glass Bead Game, which was really, really pretty. So something I'm thinking about, but I've also been kind of shying away from shimmer inks lately. I don't know. I go through phases. I don't know if you do as well, but yeah. And this one, I think, do I have in a pen right now? I know I've put it in a pen, but I can't remember if I have it in a pen right now or not. But it's one of those that I had to have a full bottle of that I really liked, because I saw the swatches and I thought this is a lovely ink, and I thought maybe this would be a good replacement for Dominant Industry Fairy Forest, and I was very, very correct. Because if you didn't know, Dominant Industry is discontinuing Fairy Forest along with a couple of their other colors, and Glacier is one of them. And I was trying to decide if I wanted a bottle of it or not, but I was kind of leaning towards maybe I should find something different. So yeah, that is that. The next color I have is one that I really enjoy, and I had it in a sample, and then I took the sample and mixed it with Diamine's Lemon Lime from the ink vent from last year. So I just kind of dropped it in because I decided to order a bottle. This is Emotional Olive, and this color is so cool. It comes up a lot on lists of dupes for Inaho by Pilot Iro Shizuku. This one is a lot greener and just more, I think it's interesting. Not necessarily more interesting, because I do love Inaho, but it is an interesting ink where it has this green and yellow tint to it. It's legible, and it is just an interesting ink. I cannot describe it more than that, but Emotional Olive. And I don't know what they were thinking of with Emotional Olive and why they named it that, but I have to say, I really do like it a lot. This is the kind of green that I'm all about nowadays. I don't know why I'm doing that, but there we go. Ran out of room to make it the rest of the way, but I like the color that it is. It is just, yeah, I don't know. It's that desaturated, almost brownish, muted color that I like so much lately. And maybe a year ago, I probably wouldn't have been interested in this a year ago. I was far more into neons, which I find just fascinating about myself. And so yeah, I'm gonna put that back on. Yeah, Emotional Olive. I really like that one. That one is, yeah, I'm a fan. All right, the next one is my newest obsession, and that is Nostalgic Honey. So this is the rest of my sample, which isn't much. I bought a bottle last week. I was back and forth trying to convince myself, and I thought, okay, you have literally used this up. I have it right now in one of my vanishing points, and I have refilled it 3 times in the last 2 weeks, and I'm loving this. It is definitely one of those that is very saturated orange brown, and it's very orange ochre, I would say, more than yellow ochre. It is definitely, or a light orange ochre, which, if you know me, you'll know that one of my colors is ochre. I love yellow ochres. And so this one is just, I can't describe how much I love it. So it's very similar to Robert Oster's Honeybee, and I've got a couple others that it's very similar to, but this is my favorite. I cannot explain why I love it so much, but I have been using it pretty much daily for weeks, and I'm not sick of it, which is not something that happens very often for me. And to be using a vanishing point and still almost done with the sample after I inked it up, because I just inked it up randomly, shocks me. So this is kind of a shocking one that I'm very excited to have a full bottle of, because I have a feeling like, at least right now, it's going to be inked up for a while in some pen. And it hasn't stayed in the same pen yet. I'm thinking I might do a Twisby just so I can always have it in a pen, but we'll see. I don't know, but it is definitely one that I am going to be using for the near future. It's just a nice, it's also just a really nice, it's almost like what I would consider my neutral in my, like when I do my journal spreads. I just love it. But I don't know. I can't explain why I love it so much, but I do. And before I move on to the next color, I do want to show it in writing. This is one of my solo RPGs. I haven't done a video on this one yet. This is called Fox Curio's Floating Bookshop, and I love this game. But this is Nostalgic Honey, and this is the Dominant Industries Le Soleil Étreté, which is another one of my favorite inks as of late. And I love how they look together, but I cannot get enough. You can see I have written pages in this, and this is just one place. So I did want to show it in writing, since I do have a lot of it written up right now. I'm quite enamored with it. I want to use it all the time. I wonder if I have one more page in here. I know I've used it quite a few times, even in here. This is no, that's Autumn Morning. Okay, maybe I didn't use it in here. That's funny, because I thought I did. But, oh, well, there is a little bit here, right here. I was drawing with it. So, yes, I have it in a broad nib too. I love it in a broad nib right now, but I've had it in multiple nib sizes. It is very legible. It is, I don't know. I thought that Robert Oster's Honeybee was my favorite of the two, and having them both, I do have both in bottles. I like Nostalgic Honey just a little bit more. I think it's because it's a little bit more orange and saturated, like, so, and it shades a little bit more. It goes to that darker brown, ochre color that I love. I'm obsessed. I will 100% say that I am absolutely obsessed. My next one is Orchestra Tangerine. This is one that I have not seen very often, if at all. I had never seen it, so I'm getting it everywhere. I'd never seen it, and I wasn't sure about it, but I thought, you know what? I'm just going to get a bottle because I have been trying to find the perfect orange, and the few little swatches I saw of it, I thought it was. I have this in a pen as well, and I'm really enjoying it. It is really similar to, I think, Sailor Tea Time's Afternoon Tea, but it is redder, it is bolder, it is, I don't know, it is, I love this orange. It's got kind of a pinky undertone to it as well. I don't know, it's just, yeah. And I love that its name is Orchestra Orange. I don't know, again, I don't know why it's named that. They don't have a reason why these are named these things. Like you've got Emotional Olive, Brilliant, Lady Emerald. I don't know why they named these things. I'd love to know. I wish they had that on their website, like what the thought process was to this. And I'm wondering if it is somewhere, but I just can't read it because I don't read Japanese, and Google Translator can only do so much. So I decided to do a little violin here or something. I don't know, just a little stringed instrument, because orchestra, guitar, you know, going with that. I'm very frustrated that I made my page messy, but that's me. So sorry about that. There is going to be a little bit mixing there with that color, but that is okay. Yeah, yes, especially because these two colors especially are very fall to me, and I've been using them in my daily journal a lot, just writing for my morning pages, and they are just chef's kiss. Look at how pretty they are together. I get really excited every time I see them. Okay, the next one is I feel like the fountain pen community darling. I feel like so many people love Teranishi's Opera Rose, and I feel like that's the gateway to Teranishi for most people. I don't know if I'm right, but this is the one that I see the most. It's the one that I bought before Van Ness got them in stock. So it is definitely one I know for a fact that I bought off Amazon. I think there was one other that I bought off Amazon to try because I bought it. No, actually, I think this is the only one. Sorry. I bought it, and then 2 or 3 weeks later, Van Ness got them in stock. And so I thought, of course. So then I got Traveling Sepia as a sample, and then had to buy the bottle. So there's that. So this one is interesting, and I think it looks different on different papers. And it is the one that they consider their pink. They call it a dusty pink. It's the only pink in this line, but it's also not pink to me. It looks more orange, and it's interesting to me because they call it Opera Rose. And so part of me thinks, are they calling it opera for the opera, or are they calling it opera for the color opera? The color Opera Rose, because to me, Opera Rose is very much so bright pink. When I'm thinking of opera, I'm thinking of the color opera when it's talking about watercolor, which is like this color. This is the color that opera is in, like right here. That's the color it is in watercolor, which it's not this, but this is a fascinating ink, because when I put my this one, I put one of those little dots on to have the swatch on it. It has that really deep lilac purple undertones, and you can see it in the Tomoe River paper, but in other papers it looks more brown orange. It's such an interesting ink, but it's not my favorite. I do like it. I like it enough that I use it, and you can see the bottle. I have given away a couple samples, but I think it's the one that is the darling that everybody else loves, and I think, oh man, it's the one that got me into Teranishi, but it's not my one true love. I would definitely say it is a nice ink. It is, but I have such an affinity for bright pinks and soft pinks and rose pinks that are not like this, that it's not the first one that I would jump to if I'm going for a dusty off brownish pink. I don't know if any of that makes sense, but it's also so cool. There are so many colors in it that makes it so cool. So it's just one of those that's really hard to nail down how much I like it and how much I don't like it. If that makes sense. I don't know if I'm making any sense at all, but it is just an interesting color. And that is one that I definitely think if you like that kind of tone, it's worth a shot to try because it does have some really cool tones. You can see as it's drying here, there's like this bright purpley pink, and then it goes to this pale like peachy. I don't know, it's so cool. It is a cool color. I will give it that. The next one is Modern Red. Modern Red is another one like these few up here that I haven't tried. And so this was one of those last ones, and I was trying to, I wanted to try it because I am still looking for my perfect red. I feel like Wearing Ghoul's Captain Hook is it for me. That's my red of the moment, but I could be convinced otherwise if I like this one. So we'll find out. It is darker than some reds, which I like. I have this weird thing with reds. I don't know, and it's not like so many people say they don't like red because of being corrected in school, and that is not it for me. The thing with red is when you're looking at red, for me, it makes me think of things that are want to take over, like the bold. And when you're looking at red, you think of the flag color and just that standard red, but it also just sticks out like a sore thumb. And so I feel like if you're using a bright red, that's going to be the main color. And I'd much rather have a pink than a bright red. I like pink. Pink is more playful to me, which, if that makes any sense, but I do like burgundies and darker reds and desaturated reds. I think that's one of the things with green, as I've been trying to figure out what I like and don't like about certain colors. When you have that basic standard green, that is the one that you think of, like Kelly green or just green. I think Christmas colors, and I think that's red as well, can fall into this is Christmas red, and that's it. But this one is interesting so far. It is darker, and yeah. I don't know how I'm feeling about it. I'd want to see it in a pen with writing, but it is pretty. It isn't boom in your face, I'm correction red, boom in your face, I'm Christmas red, but I could see this being a lovely red for Christmas, but that has that little bit of pizzazz, if that makes sense. Yeah. Ooh. Okay, this line is so warm and pretty. It makes me happy. All right, here we go. Last four colors, and up next is Classy Burgundy. Another one that I didn't see much about before I got the bottle. And I got the bottle because I am always up for a deep burgundy, and I knew without a doubt that Teranishis would have some really pretty qualities, and I was not mistaken. I did it because I thought, oh, I want some more burgundies. I want some more deep maroons for the fall, and this is just, it's got a bright purpley pink undertone to it. It is deep and red and warm and lovely. It is very classy, and I am here for it. It does lean for burgundy. It does lean more purple, which I'm all about. The kind of burgundy I love is when it leans purple more than red, and I'm very happy with it. And it's one of those things where I think that I love the Teranishi purples. I will say it, because these next three are Teranishi purples, and they are probably, of all of them, besides maybe Nostalgic Honey, they're my favorites. And this Classy Burgundy is no exception. I can't with it. Like, see, I had to color in with it. I had to color a little ghosty because he had to be the ghosty with the mosty. Because I had to. Yeah, it's one that I really, really love. And it's one that I haven't seen a lot of people use. I've seen people use the Opera Rose. I've seen people use the Emotional Olive and the Nostalgic Honey. But some of these I've never seen people use. And it surprises me because they are all just brilliant and fascinating. And I love the different colors in them, especially on this Tomoe River paper. I'd love to see it. I need to do some of the color tests on like aerofil paper and everything. I know Midori paper is one of the fun ones that I use all the time. What I showed you earlier with the Nostalgic Honey was another Tomoe River, but it was the 68 GSM, which is a little bit different from the 52. But yeah, that is, yeah, Classy Burgundy. If you are looking for a more purple leaning burgundy maroon, dark red, definitely Classy Burgundy. I'm very happy that I went out on a limb and just bought a bottle because, oh, it's so good. All right, the next one might be my favorite, and that is Innocent Mauve. I don't know, because I'm loving Nostalgic Honey. I'm also loving Orchestra Orange, and I'm really getting into like Traveling Sepia was my first. This one was my second ink after Opera Rose that I bought after I bought Traveling Sepia. This one, oh my gosh, I don't think I haven't had it inked up in some pen since I've gotten it. Maybe right now I think that it isn't because I just switched out my pens, but I just cleaned it out yesterday because I'm trying to decide what pen I want it in for the month of October. But this one has this lovely shading. It has this pink undertone. It is so legible. When I was looking, and I'm still working on the video because I still wanted, there were a couple inks that I tried. I'm trying to be as comprehensive as possible. It is a great option. It is different, but it is a great option for those who missed out on Robert Oster's Day to Night, which was the Coffee Monsters co-collaboration. This one in small nibs actually looks really similar, only this one is just a little bit more purple where that one's a little bit more red. But I love this one. I actually like this one more than Day to Night. And Innocent Mauve, this is yeah, looking at this is my favorite. Like, I will 100% say, unless things change throughout, like my taste change, this has been my favorite. It's one of my favorite inks. And I cannot explain what my love is for it, but every time I use it, I get goosebumps. Maybe not goosebumps. I'm getting goosebumps right now talking about it because that's how much I love it. Like, you can see goosebumps. I don't know if you can see them, but yeah, it's weird. It's weird. That's, I feel like it should be called Emotional Mauve because I get such feeling for it. And as I'm drawing just a pot. But I'll tell you what, it's going to be the prettiest purple pot ever. I love it. Just love it. It is, yeah. I think it's one that if you love purples, oh, just get it. Just get it. Just get it. I can't with it. Oh, it's just my favorite. I don't know why. I cannot describe why, but it is, yeah, it's just definitely a favorite. And it's a favorite ink altogether. And so we all have our favorites, right? And I think it's what made me fall in love and want to try all of Teranishi's ink, because it's so pretty. Oh, okay. Just see. Okay, I need to take a break for a minute because I'm very, very happy with Innocent Mauve. All right, so as much as I love Innocent Mauve, I also love Salon de Violet. This ink is very dark, but it's also very purple. And it's one that I have been using quite a bit. Actually didn't realize I had it inked in 2 pens last week. So that was funny. But this one, yeah, this one is lovely. It does look a lot like Persephone by Wearing Ghoul without the shimmer, but it also has just a little bit more dynamics. It's darker than Innocent Mauve and more blue toned. And it, in smaller nibs, can look very almost black. So I feel like this one would be also a really great work color, but I am in love with it. I think it is definitely because I love purples. I do. I love pink and purple are my 2 favorite colors. The one thing I wish with this Teranishi line is they had a more pink. But I mean, Opera Rose is pinkish, but it's also not. So that's my one wish, is that there was a pink, like an actual pink. I think you could have gotten a baby pink in here and it would have looked lovely. But they were going with something very retro and close to their home. That is just, pink is always what I want. I just want to live in pink. I want to live in a pink house. I want to have everything pink. My husband says absolutely not. So maybe someday I will live in a house that's separate from him so I can have a second house. Yeah, probably not, but that's my dream, is to live in a pink house. I always wanted to live in the pink Dr. Seuss house on my block. And so that's my one wish, is that they had a pink proper. And I know that I think they have is it the Irodori line? I know they have a pink there. And I think they had a line before the Taisho that had a pink, but not in this one. This is probably the most pink of them, because there is a really, really deep pinky undertone. And so, because I also love very purple leaning pinks, which is weird, but I like ones that have bluer undertones than reds. I'm weird. I'm very weird. So they're getting closer. They're moving closer to like rosy violets rather than pinks, but who's to say? You know, these 2 colors, all 3 of these, they're just, yeah. All right. And last but not all least, Traveling Sepia, my favorite brown. And I will say that it is my favorite brown. I do love it. And, you know, maybe have I seen this one? I don't know if I've seen a lot of people use this one too. But don't sleep on Teranishi inks. Seriously, they are just fantastic. They flow well. They shade well. They're interesting. That's why I wanted to do this video, is because I have just been very, very pleased with Teranishi's inks. And Traveling Sepia, I tell you what, it is rich but warm. It reminds me of like a suitcase, like the old timey suitcases. It also reminds me of those old timey pictures. And sepia is my favorite tone, or like is my favorite shade of brown. It's like such an interesting, because it is more reddish undertone, which is always fun. And it's always interesting to me to see what a company, like what an ink company or what any kind of place names their sepias. As to me, sepia is definitely dark and brown, but not super red. There's a red underneath, but some companies make it super red and some companies make it more this brownish, where there is still other colors, but red is peeking out from underneath it. It's rich and rustic, and yeah, I really love this traveling sepia. I don't know if there's a brown like it. Maybe I might have to do some tests to see, but I have tried quite a few browns, and this one takes the cake. It is just my favorite, and it is very much so. Hello, I am brown, but it has a shading to it. It has depth. It's legible. It's pretty. It's just a nice standard brown ink that's not black, which I love, but it's also, so one of the other brown inks that people love so much is, what is it called? Which one? I think a lot of people like Yamaguri. That one to me is almost black, and I don't love it. I do have a bottle of it, and I don't always love it because it's more gray black, and this one is lighter, so you can read it, but it's also, or like, so you can see that it's brown and not black, but it also, I don't know, that's what I'm just trying to figure out what I like about it. Like this, I'm trying to explain what these qualities are. So there we go. This is all the Teranishi inks of the Taisho Roman line. I am going to let these last few dry, because these did get to dry. Most of them dried so far. Brilliant Mint even needs a minute, but I'm going to let those dry, and then we'll come back and I will do close-ups so you can really see how dynamic the colors are, because I can already see, I can show you, like, there are multiple colors in this Orchestra Orange. The Opera Rose, you can really see it even not close up. Classy Burgundy, Nostalgic Honey, and even Emotional Olive. It's so interesting to see all the different nuances and shade that you can pick up even in a pen. They do pick up in pens, and so it's kind of fun to see how they work. So I will be back here in just a few minutes. All right, here we go. So here is Melancholic Blue, and it has a beautiful dark red sheen, and you can see that it gets into this beautiful tealy blue that I cannot get enough of. This one is definitely on my short list for bottles. I love it. It was one that I fell in love with before most of them. So it's just one that I fell in love with by just looking at it online, and it's definitely a favorite that I had a hard time finding at first. So I'm glad that I can find bottles of it now, because I do really like it. The next one is Smoky Navy, where you can see that it has a very gray coloring to it, but it is almost your standard blue-black with some depth of that grayness, which I really like about that. That is a lovely one to have, especially if you like the more standard colors. I definitely see that for those who like that. I can see it's got a nice sheen, which looks to me to be almost a burgundy dark brownish sheen rather than just a standard red, where Melancholic Blue you can see is very red. This one is almost more orangey brown. Moving on to Nighttime Soda. The sheen on Nighttime Soda is a reddish pink and like almost purple, and it is a beautiful blue that also has purple depth to it. It's very different it is like a standard, you know, blue, but it's got that different colors. I just like it so much. It's so interesting, and it's one that I definitely need to play with more because I have never noticed the nuances in it. I think I swatched it when I first got it and kind of just left it because I thought, oh, it's just blue. It really isn't. There is some really interesting things going on with it. You can especially see the purpley bits in the swatch here. Antique black. It is a black. It definitely is black, but it has a blueness to it. So it's a more blue black, like black but with blue underneath rather than like a red or a purple, and it's got a nice brown sheen. So that is a really pretty black, which makes sense for antiquing with that sheen. I like that a lot. I have not tried this one in a pen, so that one will be going in a pen soon just because I want to try it, especially for the month of October. It will be kind of a spooky black. Now, gentle green is very interesting to me. It is the teal, I feel, like the actual teal of the colors, but that sheen, it's a red sheen, kind of sheens over to give it this almost glittery, smoky frostedness. That's the best I can describe it. I've never seen a sheen that does that before, but it does that even over here in like the smaller swatch. I really like that. That is really pretty, and that's going to be fun to use in a pen to see what pops up. Is the sheen going to pop up more? Is this color right here? Who knows? It's very lovely, but you can see that sheen really sheens, but also kind of spreads out, which is interesting because when you look at this versus even the antique black, you don't see the sheen except in the little halo where the sheen is covering the gentle green. I find that fascinating. I wonder how that worked out because it is showing in a couple places, and I wonder how that happened, but it's cool. I am so excited because I couldn't tell when I laid Lady Emerald down if it was going to be a standard green or like a darker green, and it is a darker green, and look at that sheen. It is madness. It is lovely. It even is in my sketch here. I am excited to try this. I had held off on the green because I'm just not a emerald green person, but I can get behind this one. That one is very pretty. I'm going to do the sheen one more time, see if you can really get it. It reminds me a lot of Green at Night by Robert Oster, which is one of my favorites. So this is Brilliant Mint is the next one. As you can see, this shades into a gray, and it's very lovely. And I did want to show you because I do have it right here. Chapel Emerald is very similar, only this one is a lighter blue that it shades to, so it is different enough because it does have that different shading, but it is very similar in color. Like I think that because it shades to a blue, I'm losing things, because it shades to a blue, it does have a bit of a different color to it. But this one, I really like Brilliant Mint. Brilliant Mint is absolutely lovely, and it's one that I am so excited about having. Yeah. This one's Emotional Olive, which is a favorite of people, and I love it. It definitely is an olive green. You can see even in here that it does look like that olive green. It looks the color of an olive, especially the green olives. So it shades in the shading right here in this dark part. There is a gray, there's kind of a pink undertone. It's just so pretty, and it halos as well. So you can see that shading here. It's just a nice color. I do have back here, which is why it was popping. There is Inaho. So Inaho is much warmer and less green than Emotional Olive. I don't even think I have Emotional Olive on this page because I play around with different colors. Like Kobe 88 is far closer to Inaho than Emotional Olive. You can see when you're looking at Inaho, there is that pretty purplish pink undertone. And I think that's the thing that's similar, is that they have that purplish pink undertone. But Emotional Olive is definitely far more green than Inaho, which, for some ways I like a little bit more, but I don't know. Both of them are special inks. Next one is Nostalgic Honey. I didn't think I'd love this ink, and I held off on it for so long, and now I'm obsessed. I love it so much. It does shade so lovely, and it shades in writing just like it does here. And I cannot get over Nostalgic Honey. I'm so happy that I have a bottle of it because I love it. Orchestra Orange is one that I think people sleep on. I don't know why this one hasn't been talked about by other people, but it is a lovely orange that has red and purple and shades. I don't know if you can see that in the camera. I'm trying to pick it up, but there is purple in here and it shades. It's really similar in color to Diamine's Ancient Copper, but it has so much more dynamic and color, and I just love this color so much because you have all those color variations in it. The writing just looks so dynamic. This is the word I'm looking for. I can't think of another word for it, because I mean, even looking at Sailor Tea Time's Afternoon Tea, because the afternoon tea seems to have less of this purpley shading in it. It just doesn't do the same things as this one. I really love this color so much, and it is one that I definitely am so glad that I have a bottle of, because I think, like, I want to see more people use this, because it is also not that boom in your face orange. I cannot handle the boom in your face orange as much. This is one I could see myself using past Halloween and past the fall. I would use this a lot more than just that, which I'm excited to do. Opera Rose. See, now on this Tomoe River paper, it is so much different than it is like on my Leuchtturm paper. And I have it on my Leuchtturm paper here. I did pull it out. See, it is so much more just boring. It is still pretty. It's just, there's Nostalgic Honey there. But Opera Rose is just, it's not as interesting. You don't get as much pink and purple. And so I'm not as much of a fan on it, but if it looked like this pink and purple, if it looked like this on every paper, I think I'd love it. I think I would, but it just doesn't. It looks more brown and orange and blah on other paper. It still has that really pretty shading quality, but it's not bright and vibrant. Like, you don't get that beautiful purple shading other places. And I also don't know, I do have a pen here. Let's try it. I'm going to go to this page over here, and I'm going to just do a test on the Tomoe River paper. Here, quick. Since we are here, why not? Because I do have it inked up. Test in a pen. And this is a Pilot Vanishing Point with a stub nib, their stub nib. And I know that it takes a minute for it to dry to really get those qualities, so we'll come back to that. I'm very curious about that. I can't wait to try Modern Red in a pen as well. That one is really pretty. I can see that there's some gray and purple underneath, and it is not bright boom in your face, which is nice. I like that. I don't have much to say because I haven't used it in a pen yet, but it is lovely. I am really glad that I at least got a sample of it, and we'll see it. I'm worried that I'm just going to have a bottle of everything in Teranishi, but I mean, I haven't decided on Nighttime Soda and Smoky Navy or Antique Black. So there's three that I'm kind of iffy on, but yeah, I feel like more and more every day I'm going to have a bottle of everything. I really hope the camera picks this up and you can see just how beautiful Classy Burgundy is. In this right here, it, even in my coloring, shades from that deep dark purple to that burgundy red. And you can see there's this big splotch of dark purple with red undertones. And I just, this color is so lovely. These next three colors, I cannot even just look at that. Like, I don't know if it's gonna pick it up right. I wish it does. I hope it does. I hope it does, because I can't tell right now if it's picking it up. But there is purple and red and darkness, and oh my god, I love it so much. It's just yeah, this one this is one I picked up thinking, okay, I need a new Burgundy. I'm gonna just get a bottle. I might like it. I've been liking Teranishi. And then I get it and think, why on earth has no one talked about this Burgundy? Why? Why? We talk about like Writer's Blood, and Writer's Blood just does not cut it compared to Classy Burgundy. It's so weird to me that, I don't know, just weird. But anyway, there's Classy Burgundy. I'm obsessed. My darling, my love, Innocent Mauve. This does have a green sheen. Oh, Classy Burgundy's kind of got a yellow sheen. I didn't see those before. It does have a green sheen. I have never noticed the sheen in writing, so I can't say that it would show up in writing, maybe with really thick nibs, but I just love this color so much with the pinks and underneath and the purple. I can't. This is my darling. This is definitely one of my favorite inks. And where Innocent Mauve leans more red, we've got Salon de Violet that leans more blue and dark color in color, and it is very nice. I do like Salon de Violet quite a bit. It's very similar to Innocent Mauve, but it's also not, if that makes any sense. You can tell when you have them right next to each other, they do look similar. Like these three look like they're in the same color family, but this one's red, like dark red with a purple. This one's like a pink with a purple. And this one's definitely like your purple, violet, dark color, closer to the indigo, the blue. So for me, having all three of these is, it's like a trifecta for me. And I love them all. I could not pick a different, I could not pick I could not say, yep, I can only have one bottle. If I had to, it would be Innocent Mauve. But I don't know, I've only had Classy Burgundy for a couple weeks. This one could push out Innocent Mauve. I don't know. I just love how pretty this one is. I also do love Salon de Violet. So those ones I really enjoy. I think that Salon de Violet does look different from Persephone, but I've also put them next to each other. And in writing, they are really similar. So it's hard to decide, like, do you need Salon de Violet if you have Persephone? I say yes, but that's because I have a full bottle of Persephone and Salon de Violet because choices. And again, last but not least is Traveling Sepia, which I absolutely love. It's my favorite brown. I don't have a lot to say about it. It does shade into this beautiful black. It reminds me a lot of coffee, which I think helps. I did have it in, I think, my espresso bronze Twisby for a while. It actually would look really good in my new affogato as well. And so when I am done with Kobe's Old Settlement Brown, I might put this in it and see what I think. But yeah, this is it. And let's go back and look. So here is the test of a pen. So as you can see, maybe if you can see, the color is more of a tan, browny, orangish. It doesn't show up, even with a stub nib, it doesn't show up those beautiful purples. I don't know why it doesn't do that, except in the swatch, like right here in the color. I don't know why it doesn't show this beautiful purple, because it does right here, but in a pen, it doesn't. And I wonder if I tried one of my juicy Banus, maybe it would, but I don't know. And that's why I think that Opera Rose isn't necessarily my favorite, but I can see why other people love it. Like, it's not a diss on it. It's just probably Of the ones that are super hyped, it's my least favorite because I see the other ones and think, why is no one talking about Classy Burgundy? Writer's Blood, and I did have it back here somewhere. Let me find it really quick as I'm flipping. Writer's Blood is beautiful. Don't get me wrong. I have it in here. Maybe. There. Writer's Blood. Here's Writer's Blood. So Writer's Blood is a very lovely color. This is the Sepia cartridge of Pilots, which is why I say it's interesting to me what colors different sepias are. But I love the cartridge Pilot Sepia. But I want it to be in other things, and so I even this is an Opera Rose again. It shows up in random places, but the Writer's Blood is beautiful. It does have that wine color and it has a beautiful sheen. It is a darling. People love Writer's Blood, but when you look at it compared to the purple shading here, I want this. Maybe other people don't necessarily want that. I want the more saturated, filled with color and dynamics and vividness and brightness and boldness than I want like Writer's Blood. I like Writer's Blood. I just like Classy Burgundy even more than Writer's Blood. Like, I just love that. I love that because in writing, it will still look professional, but it also has just that beautiful shading that I just cannot get enough of. And the same with Innocent Mauve. I don't know why this one, of all the colors, this one and this one are the ones that people talk about the most, at least what I've seen, when all of these colors are just so interesting and dynamic and fun, and they don't just look like this dynamic in the Kakimori nib. I did use the Kakimori nib on this to show how beautiful the inks are, but they do look like that with other inks. And so yeah, that is my Teranishi ink swatching. Thank you for sticking with me. I have no idea how long this video ended up being. I just knew I wanted to do this video. This was a video that I have just been thinking about for a while because I love the Teranishi inks, and I finally had enough time to get it done to what I think is what I wanted it to be. And I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you've tried all the Teranishi inks, which one is your favorite. If you haven't tried any of them from this, and these thoughts are all my own thoughts, I would love to hear what your favorites are from this. And I just realized as I'm looking, the Nighttime Soda does that sheen thing that the Gentle Green does, that where it's like the sheen spreads. Interesting. So fascinating. Sorry, I wanted to say that before I go. And so this is a Smoky Navy. Huh. I have never seen that. Have you seen that as well? The things that I'm interested. Have you seen where a sheen will kind of spread out rather than just sheen? It's not like the extreme sheen, but it spreads out. It's like a soft, like overlay, like almost like a washy overlay, which is really cool. I love that. But yeah, it's a couple of them did it. But yeah, have you tried any of the Teranishis? Have you tried the ones that I think that people are sleeping on? Are you going to go try some? Let me know. Let me know all the things and all the thoughts about the Teranishi inks. There's 16 of them. And I think there's at least one color for every person. The only thing that I feel like it's missing is a pink. Like, is a true pink, because this is not a true pink to me. Like, I don't even feel like this is dusty pink to me. It's not to me, at least. To me, it's more of like a peachy orange with pink and purple undertones. But there could be an argument that people think that's pink, but that's just, to me, that's not what pink is. So I would have loved to have seen like a muted, soft, grayish pink in here. I think that would have been lovely. But as well, I think that they curated this set so phenomenally. I am head over heels for it. So let me know all the things about Teranishi. I want to know what your thoughts are. If you enjoyed this video, if you want to see more where I do things like this, where I do an entire collection of ink, It is a lot of work. It is exhausting. I am tired. I'm gonna go sit down. And yeah, it was a labor of love of collecting and making sure I looked up the inks. I researched the inks. I now have inky fingers, which is, you know, normal, but yeah, whew, real inky fingers today. So I appreciate you all. Links down in the description. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. And I will see you in the next one. Have a great one and play with your ink.